Greetings to everyone in YouTube land. I wanted to do a short video talking about the retailer JC Penney. JC Penney, as most of us know, is a very large department store in the U.S. They've been in business now, I think, for close to 100 years. I'd have to go and check the exact figure as far as how many years old they are. They lately, over the last few years, last 2 or 3 years, they've been having a lot more problems with decreased sales, dealing with a shrinking middle class, increased competition. Some of it is from online. Obviously, the rising tariffs don't help, and of course, the rising interest rates have put a great deal of hurt on them because the company has approximately $5 billion in total debt. So yesterday I was reading a story that talked a little bit about pennies, and the title of it was 6 Retail Stocks on the Verge of Bankruptcy. Number 1 on the list was JC Penney. So it looks to me, in my opinion, based on everything I've seen with pennies over the last few years and looking at the overall economic trend, it looks like pennies probably will not survive next year. There's a very high likelihood it'll go through a total liquidation next year. And I think that there's another thing that very few analysts talk about, which is that with pennies, I'm sure that over the last few years especially, their shoplifting has gone up considerably. Because this is something that retailers don't like to talk about, is the shoplifting, because they don't want to admit that so much of their product is just literally walking out the door. And I know from my own retail experience in the past, when there's internal theft, that's something that typically retail management or individual management at individual stores, that's something that typically they try to keep quiet, and they usually don't want other employees to know about it. So I think that's a whole other problem that is continuing to escalate. So I think that, like I said, I think that pennies is on its way out. If you're an employee working there, I would advise you to create some kind of backup plan, because over the years I've known so many people that worked in retail that went through a liquidation that had no plan, and then when they were out and their unemployment income ran out, they were panicking. So some of them became very depressed, some of them became addicted to drugs, and it's just a really bad situation. So there's the expression, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I think for retail workers especially those at long-lived conventional department stores, especially for them, they need to put together some kind of plan and try to prepare, for the event that they're going to be unemployed. Because with the way the U.S. economy is deteriorating, they're very likely to find themselves, without a job. And this isn't just isolated to pennies, and it's not just isolated to the big mall anchors. We've seen many of the smaller boutique shops in the interior of suburban malls and urban malls. We've seen many of those close over the last few years. So this advice is also directed at them. And all I can say is that, I hope that somehow things improve. I don't see how they're going to, but I do hope they do. And I wish these people and, of course, my viewers the very best. So thanks for watching. And if you have a comment or you don't agree with me, please post a comment, and I'll do my best to respond to it. So thanks again for watching, and I wish you all the very best.